Your Humanities Half Hour is brought to you by the Northern Marianas Humanities Council.
Hafidades and Piro, welcome to Your Humanities Half Hour. I'm Catherine Perry, and joining me today is one of our colleagues from our neighboring island of Guam, Tony Ramirez, here to talk about two of his books. Tony, welcome to the show.
Oh, Kathy. I'm very pleased to be here.
Well, it's wonderful to have you back in Saipan. You're no stranger. And I was totally surprised to learn that you have recently authored two books. Let me see if I can get this right. La Sangri Yama.
La Sangri Yama.
La Sangri Yama.
Yeah, in Chamorro, yeah.
Tracing the genealogies of the families of the Mariana Islands, a personal account, and also Los Ejemplos Zamoritos, Chamorro proverbs.
Right, thank you, yeah.
Well, first of all, a lot of respect and admiration to you for, popping out two books at once. That's really amazing. Let's talk first about this first book that I mentioned. This is kind of a personal story for you.
True. La Sangri Yama in English is The Blood Calls. And the origin of that title came from my grand-aunt from the Tablan side that I haven't seen for so many years. She moved to the States, she came back. She was born during the Spanish period. So my mom said, go see Tandan Lafid. So when I knocked on her door, she answered the door, and the minute she saw my face, she knew that we were related. She went like this to me, La Sangri Yama. And I looked at her because I didn't understand the expression. So I went back home, and when I asked my mom, why did Tandan tell me La Sangri Yama? Oh, because the blood calls. That no matter what, you can tell when there is a relationship. That's what it is, a Sangri Yama. So in the Chamorro population, we all know this. Even whether we're from the Northern Marianas, Tinian, Luta, or Guam, even when I'm in Hawaii or in California, I know if they are Chamorro. There's just something about our, I don't know if it's the instinct of just knowing that we're from here, that mansamoto. Yeah, and that's what that expression is, yeah.
I was in college in Springfield, Missouri, walking by the volleyball court where I stopped.
Yeah.
And I said, I need to wait for this game to end because that girl is from the islands. And sure enough, she was in the middle of Missouri. The book reads, dedicated in memory of my mother, Josefina Sablan Leon Guerrero Ramirez, born February 19th, 1919, and died December 16th, 1982. Let's start there with your mom.
All right. Kathy, my family lineage, the Ramirez, the Leon Guerrero, the Sablan, the Torres, and both, because the book explains 24 surnames before I was born. So that book traces 24 Chamorro surnames that I belong to, and I'm finding out more surnames since I did this book. So in the relationship of the Mariana Islands, all the Tudelas of the CNMI are Ramirez, because the matriarch of the Tudela family is the sister of my great-great-grandmother. And they moved up to Saipan, I believe, right before the Americans took over Guam. All right. The two Sablan sides that I belong to here in Saipan, the first group is the Katingting group. The Vicente Dungregorian Kalili, that's his lineage. So he and I belong to the same Sablan lineage. The other Sablan that I belong to here are the Dedas, the ones that are from San Antonio. They're Sablans too. So two Sablan brothers moved up to Saipan during the Spanish period. The Katingting branch remain here. The Deda group, only few remain, and most returned back to Guam. But it's so many. My mom is a Leon Guerrero. So half of the Leon Guerrero lineage that I do know here in CNMI are my direct lineage. Because a brother and a sister married a brother and a sister, and then they both moved up here. I believe, again, right before the Americans took over Guam, or shortly after they took over Guam. So that was the beginning of the story. But that book is really based on a lot of the oral information most of those people that I talk about in this book have since passed away. And they had very, very good recollections. And especially in the CNMI, they really knew their lineage, the Chamorro lineage of where these families came from. And I have all the gratitude, really, of the Imanainani, the signers of the CNMI, in helping me navigate the genealogical history of the Chamorro people, even at the time that they moved to the CNMI. It's really such a beautiful story. I was just telling you, at the governor's conference this afternoon, the mayor of Tinian, St. Nicolas, came up to me and he just said, "Oh, I always wanted to see you." And I said, "Why?" And I said, "Do you know that 70 years ago, the Chamorros of Tinian moved from Zap? Zap is the word for Yap in Chamorro." And I said, "Yeah, I do know that. And this is their 70th anniversary." So San Jose, the Church of Tinian, the Mother Church of Tinian, it was named San Jose because they arrived, I believe, during March on the feast of the Patrocinian San Jose, because St. Joseph was celebrated twice in the Chamorro calendar. The St. Joseph, the family, St. Joseph, the worker. And so that's why that church was named there. And then again, from those elders, Kathy, all of them have passed away. When they were telling me their accounts of why their families moved to Zap, and eventually what happened when they returned to the Marianas. So really, families, Kathy, no matter where you go, is the foundation of any society. Masya malagmano, I familia mas nagaygi, I hali, I tototano. Always remember that. Yun kung ginin sa Ipan, Tinian, Luta, Patguahan, it doesn't matter. We're all connected. And this book really explains that. If you're looking into the chart of the migrational movement, or if you belong to it, to those 24 last names, there's some sort of explanation of that migration. And I think I also discussed the Carolinian, but very briefly. I don't know if they include it there, because that has always been an integral part also of our Chamorro history, all right, since they arrived into the Mariana Islands. And a lot of people, there's always confusion about where the Carolinians first, the Refaloas, first settled, but the Refaloas first settled on Guam, before they even came up here. Sa pwede Espanyol ni the Spanish, and manapanhalom, the Manyaga Guam Atman. And it's only during the American period sa Guam, the Nitampanaliman, the German period here, that last group moved from Guam and moved up here to Saipan. And then the Carolinians, the followers group of Saipan, know that history very well because I've actually talked with them, tracing back that migration. But let me tell you one of the most interesting experiences, Agun. This is in a lifetime. In 1971, humano para Ruk. Ruk is the Chamorro word for chuk. And I stayed there for a month and a half at Xavier High School. And so the priest said, "Why don't you visit the Western Carolines?" Actually, the Mortlocks. When I went down there, I made all the reservations. I said, "Where's the ship?" And the people at the port said, "The ship left." And I said, "What do you mean the ship left? The ship is supposed to leave at 3. And he said, "It was full, so it decided to leave." So the ship left. So they said, "Come back next week because there's another ship going." And that's the one that goes to the Western Carolines that we have very close ties with, really, that settled here in the Northern Marianas. But I went to 4 atolls: Ulu, Pula, Polowat, and Pulusuk. The last atoll, could you imagine, that I went to, the minute I hit that iinegri and you gatsaitano, there was a small child that came to me and said, "There is an old man that wants to see you." And I really said, what old man would know me in Pulusuk?
First time to be.
First time. But they know who's coming in, right?
Okay.
They get advance notice. So I went to see the old man. Oh my God, the man must have been about maybe 70 years old. The refalowas ni. The anipogu ufatogi amko. Ningi gitsagwanu. Hafadi layiyo or patgonno. And I said, "My God, this person is speaking Chamorro, and I'm fluent in Chamorro." So we started conversing in Chamorro, and then he told me the history of how his family went here to the Marianas, but he eventually returned. Isn't that something to his homeland? But to have that experience, Nini, the way our islands have always been in the connection, really, of our people, especially with the Western Carolines, from Lamatrek to Ulu, to and listen to this. You know, when the controversy gets a Guam, no humudin sa often pumatalay ka para Guahan sa aga sa Guam and all that. Do you know what, Kathy? That in the Western Carolines, they still use the reference Guahan. Isn't that something, that they retain the original name of Guam in their language still in use? Lohita ni Mansamori, ni Marianas, that Julia na ni Americano niya no just pago para Guam hamza, and we just can't, you know, we are I guess accepting it, but reading it, and it was so beautiful, and that's that commonality we have really with the Refollowers group that have you know, the Marianas is I went to all the schools because of Guam. My history is Guam's history. Well, our history as Chamorros and Refollowers is Mariana's history, and it's really a very beautiful interwoven history if you really look into it in time.
What did you really hope to accomplish by documenting all of this in a book? What was your goal in setting out to get all this information?
Well, the fundamental goal and the pivotal goal, Kathy, was, you know, it's always that myth called Gogohat Chamorro. Is there really a Chamorro? It's always a question. O tada Chamorro sa mapuno todo. It's all, and you're like, I go like this. Well, then what am I? Ako di pa bisongan? Sa ti Espanyol ti Americano. You know, from the day I could remember, iman amko, you know, man Chamorro yan. We are Chamorros. Basta fa ninis ni na mamakwestiyon o umusing i-question na gumagay na guat Chamorro. I mean, what kind of definition are they asking for? You know, and what qualifies ethnicity? You know, but this is the way we are, man Chamorro yan. I mean, what else? Do we not have the right to ethnicity and ethnic identity? Di kustimbreta, our culture, ifinota, our language, you know, and it's all that myth. So really, that was the inspiration. Na La Sangri Yama man Chamorro, no matter where you go, you know, and people with the Chamorro, you know that from all over the Marianas or all over the world. Really, it's just amazing. You know, na it's the Guam Museum ni, and rightly so ma tituluti Guam Museum ihinanauta, the journey. Sa esti palabra hinano, gua tutuhon niya, there's a beginning. Lotaza finat po niya, there's never an ending. Sigya mo na. And that's really the theme of the new Guam Museum. It should be open, I think, yocho na semana. Finally. Yeah. So that was the inspirational thing. So I'm getting untatay sa Chamorro, and oh my God, this is my family history. It's like reading the history of you know, of other cultures.
Well, this particular book you have chosen to write in English.
Yes,
but the next book we're going to talk about is actually written primarily in Chamorro, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Right, yeah, and I did some of the writing there in Chamorro. They just didn't put it in. I wrote the narrative of the Sablan family, Gifino Chamorro.
Now, you say they because this was printed with the assistance of Spain, I understand?
Right, yeah. It was from the Instituto Cervantes. Everybody, I think, here in the CNMI would know. See, Carlos Madrid, all right, because he's very active with the CNMI.
And does the introduction for this
just
book?
an introduction for that book, and also said, Tony, let's put what you wrote in a book form.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's the product. Really, and I have all the gratitude, Kathy, for Tori manay ni Chamorro na Refollowers winigi not ti Marianas kan tori gining Guam ni na siya ni Manhano Lagu or Madingo Guam antes sa mamatsalapo ni Chamorro were all over. Yeah. Especially the Chamorro so Jap. Yeah.
We're speaking with Tony Ramirez about his two latest publications. Back with more after this break.
Did you know that you can donate up to $5,000 to the Humanities Council through the CNMI Education Tax Credit Program? Donations from individuals and corporations qualify and can be used to offset your local wage and salary tax, BGRT, and earnings tax. Call our office at 235-4785 to see how you can support humanities programs in our community and obtain a tax credit for your donation. Sizuus Maasi, Olomai, and thank you.
Welcome back to your Humanities Half Hour. We're now going to talk about the book Los Ejemplos Chamorritos, Chamorro Proverbs. You know, I thought I was going to try to read one of these proverbs, but it's not comedy hour. So I'm going to let you do it. But what, again, prompted you to take on this particular topic?
A very good question. Maling na question. Kathy, Todi Manaina, Imanan Samodi, to visit all the elder Chamorros that I visited, especially with the family histories. They won't tell you anything until there is some sort of connection. So the response would be, Pahafo na information, what you're going to do with this information. So I have to connect to them. Oh, Ramirez to all Leon Guerrero to all Diaz to all Cabrera to and all that. Then they start spilling out and doing the confession, right, of the family histories. And that's how. But in all of the conversation, really, with the elders, remember now, Tori Dos Libros, both books are really based on oral history. Could you imagine this in today's world? That at least they were documented. It's not just any more oral, at least it's in a document. So this is a collection of the proverbs, that the elders say to me, especially when they're citing an example. They would summarize that particular event in a proverb. It's not so much used today, unfortunately, but these are our values. This is why we are Chamorros. This is the way we think. This is the way we respond to them. This is how we understand reality. This is how we understand connections and all that in marriage and friendship, and it's all cited here. And of course, the book, I literally wrote it, Chamorro, because I know that if I wrote it in English, they'll go straight to the English.
You know, you're right.
Yeah, and struggle, but you'll learn.
Which is exactly what I did. I mean, I tried reading it when you so graciously gave me a copy, and I was able to get some of it, but you're right. If there had been English, I probably would have gone straight to the English. Let's pick one. I'll let you pick one to share with us.
Okay, and let's just go to the very first of the pages. Estigi uno, but they can be said in different ways. And the explanation, the poetry of that particular proverb is below each of the larger lettering. That's the proverb, but it is explained in the lower casing. But they are proverbs within proverbs. So let me read it to you, or let me read one that everybody would understand. Sa'mu angongoku agupa, sa agupa tiagupa mo. And here's the explanation, again, said in so many ways. Pago pagomo agupa tiagupamu. Tatsalani gitininas I linatlamu. I ora ti oramu. I dia ti diamu. Desti imafanyagumu hasta ifinataimu. Esta ninanangaho ni ifinataimu. Zahalgu mismo ti tumungo. I magutus I aanimu. Do you understand that?
Mostly.
Okay, so let me explain it in English. Tomorrow is not your tomorrow. Today is your today. Pagupa gomu, today is your day. Agupa tagupamu, tomorrow is not yours. Always try to do the best in your own journey, in your life. Ilinatlamu. I ora, the hour, is not your hour. Tioramu. I dia, the day, is not your day. Desti mafanyagumu, from the time you are born, hasta finataimu, to the time of your death. Esta ninanangaho ni finataimu. Your death already awaits you. That's the journey of everybody's life. There's a beginning and there will be an end. Zahalgu mismo, and you, on that journey, Masti Tumungo would not know the last day of your mortal life here on earth. It's just not, but it is a journey. So don't leave things behind. Do things now that are for the betterment, for yourself, for your family, and all. And that's what this is trying to say, really. Is that understood? No.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So, looking at this, then, is it then the additional description you gave?
Yeah.
Is that also are those also used as proverbs, or are those how
Yes.
you describe?
Right. Okay, there are 100 proverbs that I identified here. But in the explanation of each proverb, there are overlapping ways of saying it or other additions to the proverb. So here's the other one. I think everybody would understand this, okay? Un día menos pago.
Un día menos pago.
Un día menos pago. Okay. And that's in the English is what comes around goes around or something like that. I don't know the English, right?
No, that's right.
That's
English.
good English. The most,
English.
okay, all right. So it goes like this. Inuman piniti he who causes suffering, uhananga imana pinitinya, await for your time too. Inuman tailati he who caused harm, uhananga imana talajanya, also await for that period, okay, when it comes back to you. Un dia ufatigitahago, one day would come. Un mala na siniseri, maybe something that is of misfortune. Zani todo ipanyumu, and even with all your handkerchief, dikahamu, in your drawer, ti usinauso ilagomu, would not wipe your tears away. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Yeah.
So where did you get these proverbs
From the elders, really, because
okay.
You know, the elders, they're very observant, really, in behavior and in everything that they, because that's what proverbs are. These are, you know, years of observation, experience, and understanding of what life is all about. And when you really look into this is how stories are created. Mm-hmm. Novels, books, even in the English or any language. They take a value system and it becomes a story in short stories, in prose, or in novels. So you can take any of these proverbs, okay, and develop it as a story. All right, let me give you one example, because we talked about this yesterday, about sirena. So the sirena proverb is this: Pinepetra ipatgun ni ifinosaina. Pinepetra comes from the Spanish word like Pedro, which means a rock, right? But that's Spanish, Petros. Pinepetra ipatgun. The child is hidden by this rock, okay, ni ifinosaina, when a parent, if you've heard the word matdisi, is to cast what's for matdisi? A curse, matdisi, okay. And so in the Serena story, okay, this is what happens, okay. Pinepetra ifinosaina contra patgonia. And you know, Kathy, since I heard that account, I don't say legend, since I heard that account of Sirena since I was very young, I went like this. Oh, this proverb is parahita, us ni manhoben, us who are the young kids, right, for obedience. Mm-hmm. But when I grew up and I started looking into the proverb and the narrative of Sirena, and when I talked to this elder lady, si Pangilinan de Siquet, Pangilinan, Manyadin Pangilinan, the former governor here in the CNMI,
you realized it was for the adults.
It was for the adults.
Kind of like caution, giving them
be careful of what comes out of your mouth.
Cautioning them how. Yeah.
And
they deal with their
children. Be careful. Mm-hmm. So those words, okay, let me give an example, right, okay. Let's use these three characters. A friend, a teacher, and a parent. And they use exactly the same words. Okay? And I'll say it in Chamorro. Ni hafa unsogi, no matter what you do, tai baliho, you are worth nothing. Mm. Okay, so the friend tells you that. And when your friend tells you that, bastas you say,
he's not worth anything either.
So when your teacher says that to you in a classroom, the weight of the word, okay, becomes stronger. And you go, oh my God, this is not now my friend telling me I'm not worth it.
Yeah.
This is a teacher of authority.
Yeah.
That is making judgment on me. Mm-hmm. Why is she saying that to me? How is she profiling me? So that teacher better be careful. Lord zangin isaina, Lord zangin inana zanitata. Could you imagine if you hear that from your parents?
Yeah.
Who say, Nafonso wi tai baliho?
No matter what you do, you're worthless.
The same words, lo pinepetraho mas ni ifinosaina. Because oh my God, it's so hard to explain in
It
Chamorro.
will hit
Because
you
the weight,
worse.
yeah, because the weight, I don't know how to say it in English, but in Chamorro it's very clear. I fino ne, mas medgot contra isaina, kini igatsum. It's stronger when it comes from your parent
Yes.
than it comes from a friend.
Wow.
So in the Sirena story, that's what happened. Only 3 women were involved. Inana, Imatlina, and Sirena. And who saves Sirena in the story?
Nina, the godmother.
Imatlina, right?
Yes.
So the Matlina went like this to Inana. Linya, Hogu Nana, you are the mother. Zahungan, guapo det mo Sirena. You have power over Sirena. But that power is only a biological power. Itataw-taw niya ha. Dito sa mga Sirena. Logwahu ni Matlina, gininas duos. And it overrides ifinomo. It will cast away your words. The ipateko ga Sirena, edzu na pati tiumafnas will not, will remain human. Edzu na pati tiumafnas, the utaw to si Sirena. And that was when the transitioning of the curse began. Ani naman nang si Sirena sa gisadok Manondo, that's the Manondo River gisagat niya. Sa ani sangin ni Nana edzu. And sigida si Sirena asyenti nagwamatulala ka gitaw-taw niya. Really, and when I read the Sergeant Chamorro, sometimes I even cry. I get so emotional. Then niya atang papa si Sirena inauhanong the clear water. Ali na matulala ka patas niya. Daylang niya ay nana matladza seya, which really means in English, ay nana masyala lachizu, but how can you curse me?
I made a wrong choice.
Yeah,
but how could you?
lo dalay sa pon mat disizo. Pues lo atrasaos tani. And so the mother went to the Manondo River. Then yake goti si ikaneng Sirena, and yake hago ikaneng Sirena. Tisi niya hagoti, to take her out of the water. The mother couldn't do it. Zalalago tumatangis kamakasaw. That's weeping. Za ilang niya si Sirena gas na nanya niya nana. Afa malofan, whatever happened, is tani ifinihu cannot be changed. Sista mo magayan. I have changed. You have changed me to that gifinomo. And just said to the mother, adios nana, adios, yo entrego mi alma. I espiritual pago sinya gagis an hago. But physically, no, I am gone from your guardianship. And it's a very beautiful story. But really, it's meant for hitaniman amko that are the examples of the community, who are the infinity tafananawi famagun taimanu mo na, right? And this is what the Sirena story is all about. But be careful, agon. Maestra but no sign na ho. Taimanu ta adingani famagun. Sa tatungwang bina ngani famagun mandalati, but there are ways to go about this, And I'm not saying parenthood is easy, because parenting is not it's the challenge, right, of all ages, isaina. But lupat gon mo. And my mother would always go like this to me. So, we were 9 children in the family, Kathy. Linga hogu sat che luwa. Logwao pat gonno iche lumu. Tisinya pereo shinin tetanados. Kemisha lachi che lumu pat gonno. Hogu sat che luwa. They measure things in Chamorro. I don't know how the elders do that, but they do these examples really in proverbs. It's so really beautiful, huh? Yeah.
Well, we're so fortunate that you have such an interest in your family and in the Chamorro language and history in general, to have come up with these 2 publications that are really going to be informative, educational, and helpful to so many other Chamorros aside from your own personal interest. Any final thoughts before we go?
Dosa na punta tayo sa mga sa pagpapos na programa. Uno, dan finit na. Una, you send Duncan na maasi para i-Humanities Council. Ni send mo to helped me immensely about the history of the islands, north of Guam, really, to understand Afet naman Chamorro and everything that is Chamorro. The other thing that is also very pivotal for me is tinikati ilabdu. Like I said, in the journey, right? We're mortal, but I know that 100 years from now, somebody will look through this book. Esta taigyo, esta manaybi manayna, But they'll be reading this and they're saying, oh my God, this is them. This is their history. You know, in time, reading a book is very powerful. And the information, especially what it's, often if mashon gagi gilap blue, whatever information's in the book, that would always retain the power of our identity as Chamorros, our identity as one family among so many families in the world. You know, lo mansamoro he. Like everywhere in the world, all the different cultures, and it's just so beautiful, the world. When I look at all these different cultures, I never see any issues with it, really, you know, but that's a Pacific perspective, right? Because we're just like that as Pacific Islanders. We're so accepting, you know. We don't have these issues. I don't, hopefully not, but that's what it is. But that's the thing I have to say. Ilep Bloom Met Good would always have that power to provide that information. Then Ochilokin, like I said, Sendongknos Susumasi, not only to the Humanities Council, I almost forgot the Sinamai Museum, because that's how I eventually came up here the first time. Then, you know, with the American Memorial, which was the National Park, that's how we met, through the
Yes.
American Memorial Project, to complete that visitor center over there. So really the CNMI has been such a instrumental part of my journey in understanding our history and our ways and our language. So, Sizu Smaasi CNMI. And Nidauto CNMI. Yeah. Algomas, you know. Yeah.
Thank you, Tony. Our guest today has been Tony Ramirez, talking about his 2 latest publications. Give us again the names of these books.
Pretty familiar about the family, La Sangri Yama. Zaguanu, Zani Apizidi Mangagiwi, Zani Otru, Los Ejemplos Tamboritos, Chamorro Proverbs.
This has been Your Humanities Half Hour. I'm Catherine Perry.
This program was supported by a We the People grant awarded to the Northern Marianas Humanities Council from the National Endowment for the Humanities. Any views, findings, conclusions, or recommendations expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily represent those of the National Endowment for the Humanities or the Northern Marianas Humanities Council.